Home Health in Mangum is locally owned and offers nursing, physical therapy, occupational, wound care, IV therapy, and more. All administered by people who go above and beyond for you. Phone Triad Home Health today at 580-782-5800. That's 782-5800.
Wondering how Western Oklahoma State College can fit into your future? With 25 degree options and more than 20 student organizations, it's easy to join the Pioneer family. Western offers classes online and on campus, making it simple to fit an education into your schedule. Western's tuition is less than half of a four-year university's and offers many scholarship opportunities. To find out more about how your future is brighter at Western, visit wic.edu.
Ranchers, bed feed or supplies, 4E feed or supply and loaders 411, so they understand your needs for the Prairie Ranch. They've got your bulk feeds for pickup or being delivered. Great brands coupled with fast family service. They have butts or pills, butt supplies, and show feeds too. 4E feed or supply supports Gore County school sports and activities. 425 East Lake in Mangum.
Castle Insurance Agency in Mangum is celebrating 80 years in business and 4 decades of Mangum Tiger and Lady Tiger graduates. The Castle Insurance Agency has had and will continue to have a long-term commitment to support Mangum students on the field and off the field. For auto, home, farm, bonds, crop, oil field, or commercial insurance, please call or stop by the Castle Insurance Agency, 122 South Pennsylvania in Mangum. Call 782-3049. That's 782-3049. The Castle Insurance Agency in Mangum.
Everyone wants to be on a winning team. That's why Great Plains Bank is a proud supporter of the Tigers. No matter what life may throw at you, Great Plains Bank has the play drawn up, and we're ready to go into overtime to win your business. What makes Great Plains Bank different is that we will make the extra push to get you to the goal line. When it comes to your family's finances, every play counts. So pick a team that you can trust. We want you on our team because with customers like you, we are greater together. Great Plains Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
When it comes to getting your prescriptions filled quickly, just have your doctor send them to Bratton Drug in Mangum or Granite Drug in Granite, where competent and friendly pharmacists will quickly fill them correctly. Bratton Drug and Granite Drug are hometown, locally owned pharmacies, and they know you have a choice when it comes to a pharmacy, so they appreciate your business, and they're proud to serve you. That's Bratton Drug in Mangum and Granite Drug in Granite.
Buy your Mangum Tiger Spirit clothing from locally owned CJ's Tiger Specialty Shop, where you'll find the best selection, quality, and the lowest prices. Greer County items, too. They'll design something especially for your group. CJ's is your one-stop Mangum School Spirit Shop, 1 block south of the high school, Mangum, Oklahoma.
There's only one place for the best selection of items for Mangum's homecoming. It's Flowers Unlimited at 113 South Oklahoma. Your choices include 7 different mums starting at $18.95, 4 different garters starting at $12.95, several kinds of noise makers including the popular cowbell, lighted pom-poms, lighted jewelry, and candy snack packs. It's Flowers Unlimited in Mangum.
Friends, you need to take care of your eyes. Have regular checkups. Make an appointment with Dr. Michael Geiger, Geiger Eye Care in Altus, and now there's a Geiger Eye Care in Frederick. Dr. Michael Geiger and Sons, Seth and Bryce, well, they're good at what they do, so get your eyes checked. Geiger Eye Care, Altus and Frederick, proud to support Southwest Oklahoma youth in sports, in the classroom, in the showroom, whatever. Proud to be a Bearcat booster. That's Geiger Eye Care, Altus and Frederick, Mike, Seth, and Bryce Geiger, 580-482-1756.
Travis Septic Tank Service can handle everything related to septic tank maintenance and cleaning, including commercial applications. Call Travis Septic Tank Services at 580-782-2384. That's 782-2384. Travis says, go Mangum Tigers.
Bring hope and peace to a child. Young children of all ages need homes. Please consider opening your loving home to a child in need. Children deserve to grow up in a loving, caring family. We have the services and community connections that can help foster families succeed. Contact your local youth service agency at 580-726-3383 for more details. Abused and neglected children are Oklahoma's most vulnerable population. Help is needed now. Great Plains Youth and Family Services is a proud sponsor of today's broadcast.
When it comes to funeral homes, there are several to choose from. But choosing a funeral home that is locally owned offers the advantage of the local owners who are involved right here in the community, helping you during your time of need. Greer Funeral Home owners Carson and Stacy Van Zant are perfect examples of owners who offer that family-like connection that you'd expect from a friend and a neighbor. Greer Funeral Home in Mangum and Granite, providing dignity and respect.
The Hamburger Inn in Mangum continues to be that special place people have enjoyed for generations. Good food prepared by your neighbors in a laid-back atmosphere where you really feel at home. Breakfast, lunch specials daily, and the famous fish fry every Friday night. Or a great steak dinner on Saturday night. But you guys know about the Hamburger Inn in Mangum. We'll see you there.
Mangum Brick Company has been operating since the early 1900s. They're the largest private employer in Greer County. Mangum Brick is proud to support high school athletics radio broadcasts. And if you know of someone looking for work, always check with Mangum Brick, as they may be hiring.
Well, hi again, everyone. Welcome back to Softball on Classic Hits 97.7, OKSports.tv, and also on our Facebook Live page. That's 97 Classic Hits 97.7. Go to the Facebook Live page and you've found us quite easily. So get ready for a championship semifinal matchup here this evening. Ball game a little late getting underway, but again, when you're talking about tournaments and postseason tournaments, and you're going to pull out all the stops. We've got Walters taking on the Mangum Lady Tigers. Mangum winning the first game of the day over Chelsea 10-3, but don't be deceived by that score. Game much closer than that, actually. Chelsea led 2-0, then led 3-2, and then Mangum blew up for 7 in the sixth. And they win by a final score of 10-3. Then in our second ball game, Walters and Crescent hooked up in a veritable slugfest that Walters ended up winning by 14-11. So we just watched Crescent and Chelsea play in an elimination ball game, and Crescent wins it 11-5 over Chelsea. So Chelsea has been eliminated. Crescent will come back and play tomorrow morning at about 11 o'clock against the loser of this ball game in an elimination contest as well. Now, the schedule shows that getting underway at noon, but because it is a football Friday and the Mangum Tigers are on the road, they will start about an hour early and get underway at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. So Mangum and Walters, the winner in the Catbird seat to go to the state tournament, and we'll watch it unfold with you coming up after this on Classic Hits 97.7.
Jamie's Auto Sales in Mangum is Tiger proud. When you need a reliable used vehicle, just visit Jamie's Auto Sales at 129 North Louis Tittle Avenue in Mangum. Owner Jamie Turner has many years of experience in the auto sales business. Jamie or Lacey Del Tepper will help arrange financing through area banks and credit unions. Get a good vehicle and save money at Jamie's Auto in Mangum.
Greer County Farm Bureau agents Mickey Lively and Steve Martin support high school sports. Mickey and Steve offer insurance for property, casualty, life, commercial, and crop. That's at 231 North Oklahoma in Mangum. Greer County Farm Bureau. You can call them at 580-782-3827.
Taking care of your family is easy and convenient at the JCMH Family Care Medical Clinic in Mangum. Located at 114 South Louis Tittle in Mangum, Dr. Lonnie Perryman and nurse practitioner Patty Burks provide a comprehensive, full-service family practice, including care for children and adults, including geriatrics. Call 782-3393 for appointments at the JCMH Family Care Medical Clinic in Mangum.
Mangum Golden Age Apartments offers government-sponsored apartments for persons 62 and older and people with Social Security. They have one bedroom and efficiencies which include all bills paid, including Wi-Fi, and cable is just $5. Mangum Golden Age Apartments are located at 100 East Lincoln, right on the downtown square in Mangum. Call Brandy at 782-2452 for more information. 782-2452. The Mangum Golden Age Apartments.
And welcome back to Mangum as the two coaches exchanging lineups and getting last-minute ground rules from our umpires, Bill Ferguson and Major Davis. Ferguson will be behind the plate for this final game of the day. The two umpires have been here all day long, and believe you me, it gets to be a grind after a while. They started at noon, and here we are, 6:40 now on your Thursday evening, and they've still got one game to go. So tip of the cap to those guys as we get ready for this one. Now, shadows will come into play for a while here this evening because that setting sun out to our west, part of the batter's box has got sunshine, part of the pitching circle has got sunshine, and there's sunshine in between. So it'll be an inning or two before things level off as they've got the toss of the coin, won by Richard, I believe, which means that the Lady Tigers, I think, are going to be the home team. Let's see if that is the case as they toss that coin. And who won the toss, Coach? Who won the toss? Now, Richard can't hear us. Mangum won the toss, so they will be the home team. All right, there you go. Mangum and Walters, thank you. Coming up, Sick and Say, it's Classic Hits 97.7.
Mangum Oil and Gas at 1306 North Lewis Tittle offers so many services. From fuel at the C-store to the self-serve car wash, getting propane bottles filled or propane delivered to the home and farm, even U-Haul services. It's no wonder so many folks head to Mangum Oil and Gas, where they say, go Tigers.
All right, welcome back as we get set for the first pitch of our semifinal championship bowl game. And again, you win, you come back, and you have one game that you need to win on Friday to get to the state tournament. If you lose, you're not through, but the road going to be tough and rocky. All right, the visitors are the Walters Lady Blue Devils. They'll go with Jenna Johnson. She'll lead it off. Trista Ford bats second. Grace Myers will hit third. Then it's Darren Reyes, Allie Powers, and Kinsey Thurman. Caden Smith, Kayla Coleman, and Emily Robinson round out the bottom third of the lineup for Walters. Johnson, Ford, and Myers, Reyes, Powers, Thurman, Smith, Coleman, and Robinson, the 9 in the order for Walters, the Lady Blue Devils. Meantime, Mangum, a defense that you should be familiar with by now. Sydney Webb is the pitcher. Nicole Rogers, her battery mate. You'll find Haven Gilbert at first, Sarah Rogers at second. Victoria Geralds is over at third. We've also got Dusty Pence at short, J.C. Nippert, Kyra Hussey, and Kayla Reese from left to right in the outfield.
For top-notch heating and air conditioning service and installation, you can rely on Payne's Heating and Air, serving Southwest Oklahoma and North Texas from their headquarters in Mangum, Oklahoma. With years of experience and hundreds of satisfied customers, call Payne's Heating and Air Conditioning at 799-5130, 799-5130.
All right, about ready to get this one underway. It'll be Sydney Webb, her opponent, first of all, Jenna Johnson, the shortstop here this evening for Walters. By the way, for you folks that are listening in from the Walters side of the broadcast, 200 feet down each line here in Mangum, 210 to straightaway center. The wind blowing almost directly out to center field most of the day, now blowing towards that left field corner, and a strike to Johnson to begin the ball game. So it's 0-1 on Jenna Johnson as we are underway here. Sydney Webb's pitch lifted in the air towards center field. Hussey is there. Kyra battling the wind a little bit, but makes the play for out number 1. Early today, the ball did not carry at all. But then as the afternoon arrived and the wind picked up, and so did the temperature and the humidity, ball began to carry a little bit better. Trista Ford now will step in. Trista, the pitcher for Walters, takes upstairs for a ball. The count is 1-0 on Trista. A lot of runs in the first 3 ball games, no doubt about it, especially when you talk about postseason play. 1-0 pitch, cold strike, and the count level at 1-1. Again, though, Mangum scoring 7 times in that inning. Already going to get conversation now. Home plate umpire and the coach for Walters.
It's so loud I can't hear what they're saying.
Yeah, I'm trying to listen in on the conversation as well. I'm got a bus going by, the Chelsea bus. They're going to spend the night in Altus, we believe, before they make that long trip back to the northeast part of the state. And by the way, you come that far, they acquitted themselves nicely. It's a good ball club. All right, so the conversation over. 1-1 pitch on the way here. Ground ball back to Webb. Sydney will set, field, and throw to first for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down here in inning number 1. Sydney Webb, kind of like the offense for Mangum. A little bit of a slow start to begin the ball game. She gave up a couple of runs in the first inning of play. Then settled down, got into a groove, and after that first inning only gave up 1 over the next 6. and wins it 10-3. And again, what I liked as she got into that groove, she started out ahead of the hitters and does so here with Grace Myers. Throws a strike, 0-1 to Myers. Pitch on the outer half, and the count now 0-2 on Myers. And again, a conversation. And it's not the balls and strikes, Katie. It's something that Webb is doing on the pitching rubber. And now Bill Ferguson is going to go have a conversation with Major Davis. Sydney not doing anything differently than what we've seen her all season long. So apparently the coach from Walters figured something out, and if nothing else, he's going to get a conversation between the umpires. And you know what you can do here, it also puts a little bit of a thought process in the mind of the pitcher. And I think he's showing where Sydney is setting up on the pitching rubber. Now he's going into the dugout. Well, this is fun early on. We'll take a timeout, come back. Controversy in the first inning. Classic Hits 97.7.
Amanda Weaver from Mangum is now the manager at Courtsview Meat Company in Altus. Gary and Letitia Stockton and Amanda are proud to sponsor Hobart Bearcat and Mangum Tiger radio broadcasts. Listen, when you're enjoying ball this fall, stack up on the best ribeye steaks money can buy from Courtsview. Also ribs, jerky, smoked sausage, hams, and a lot more. And of course, they do custom slaughtering. If you're grilling, roasting, baking, or slicing, you can't go wrong with Courtsview Meat Company, 800 South Veterans Drive in Altus. Phone 580-477-1390.
What does it mean to be a Mangum Tiger, you ask? Well, we are one town, one school, and one family. We may be a small town, but we have big dreams and a bright future ahead of us. This is Lori Laughlin from Stockman's Bank, member FDIC, and we are so proud to support the Mangum Tigers.
Well, we think that the conversation, do what now? Well, I know from that angle, that's kind of what I'm wondering. Major Davis, who is umpiring in the field, went out and had a quick conversation with Sydney Webb. And now Major doing a little pirouette move, showing Bill Ferguson. And all we can figure out is that she being Sydney Webb, may be doing a little crow hop instead of dragging that back foot. Thought at first Major signaled it was the pitching lane, but Major did a little pirouette. Bill looks down at the Walters coach and just kind of shakes his head. So now back to play. 2 gone here in the first. The count 0-2. The pitch outside for a ball, and it's 1-2. So Grace Myers, not only is Sydney Webb maybe a little bit rattled, but Myers at home plate for Walters as well. 1-2 offering on the way. Fastball outside, and the count level at 2-2. And again, the Walters coach still not satisfied. You can just tell by his body language. And there's something that got a burr under his saddle. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strikeout, and the inning will come to an end in 1-2-3 fashion. Nothing doing for Walters in their half of the first. We'll go to the bottom of the frame with Mangum coming to bat. Classic Hits 97.7.
Folks in Mangum know what to do when they need to quench a thirst, curb a hunger attack, or cool down with an ice cream. They just make the Loop at 918 North Lewis Tittle in Mangum. The Loop, supporting the Mangum Tigers and Lady Tigers.
For over 4 generations, the Willis and staff have worked to develop their skills, and with improved technologies, they can assure you of a monument that will stand the test of time. Their award-winning designers, expert stonecutters, layout artists, sandblast sculptors, and installation crew are here to serve you. Visit them online at willisgranite.com. Willis Granite Products, with locations in Granite, Oklahoma City, and Stillwater.
Triad Home Health in Mangum is locally owned and offers nursing, physical therapy, occupational, wound care, IV therapy, and more. All administered by people who go above and beyond for you. Phone Triad Home Health today at 580-782-5800. That's 782-5800.
Wondering how Western Oklahoma State College can fit into your future? With 25 degree options and more than 20 student organizations, it's easy to join the Pioneer family. Western offers classes online and on campus, making it simple to fit an education into your schedule. Western's tuition is less than half of a 4-year university's and offers many scholarship opportunities. To find out more about how your future is brighter at Western, visit wosc.edu.
Welcome back to Mangum as we get set for the bottom half of inning number 1, and there is no score. And John Winfrey, the coach for Walters, again having a conversation with Major Davis and asking him to go to the rule book, and we're still yet to be able to discern what that is all about. But and the Major has found the rule, and it's actually he and John are looking at it together. By the way, I understand that there are several folks from Walters viewing the broadcast on Facebook Live at oksports.tv, and we appreciate them being on hand. And Coach Winfrey still having that conversation. Major pointed the rule to him. He didn't like what Major said, and so he took the rule book back to him. Then Major said, okay, that's enough. I'm done. So, hey, this is good stuff, and I'm right there with Coach Winfrey. Coach Carter would be the same way. When you're talking about the postseason and you're 2 wins away from the state tournament, you're going to pull out all the stops. So here we go. Dusty Pence to lead it off. Richard Carney has decided to change his lineup just a bit offensively. It'll be Pence, Kyra Hussey, and Haven Gilbert here in the first inning. And Dusty will look at the pitch outside for a ball. The count is 1-0. Middle third of the lineup, Sarah Rogers, Sydney Webb, and Victoria Geralds. And the bottom third, Maddie Lively, J.C. Nippert, and Nicole Rogers. Count 1-0 on Dusty Pence. Pence takes a strike, and the count level at 1-1. So it's Pence, Hussey, and Gilbert, Rogers, Webb, and Geralds, Lively, Nippert, and Rogers, the lineup for the Mangum Lady Tigers. Trista Ford, the pitcher for Walters. Her battery mate is Grace Myers. 1-1 pitch, Dusty on the ground to the shortstop. Johnson can't handle. It'll be an error on the shortstop, and safe over at first base will be Dusty Pence. So Pence hit it hard, and instead of playing the ball, Jensen let it play her, and that'll go down as an E6. Kyra Hussey now, center fielder. Hussey and Pence were hitting 1 and 2 most of the regular season, but it was the other way around. Now a throw down to first base, and it goes all the way down the right field line. Pence on her way to third, and Dusty there standing up. So a couple of errors early on for Walters has put a runner at third base with nobody out here in inning number 1. And Grace Myers that time threw down, tried to pick off Pence, and not a bad throw on Myers' part. The problem is Allie Powers looking right into the sun. I don't think she had any idea where that ball was. So Powers is at first, Emily Robinson, the second baseman, Kenzie Thurman at third, Jenna Johnson, the shortstop, the outfield, Lily Brox, Caden Smith, and Dayron Reyes from left to right in the outfield for this group from Walters. Wow, what a beginning. Count on Hussey, by the way, now 2-0. Kyra showing bunt, pulls the bat back, takes the ball. This one gets to the screen, but Pence will stay put at third base, and the count 3-0. And again, this point of the season, you don't run that risk if you're Richard Carney. I'll be honest with you. I think if you're coach John Winfrey, you don't run that risk either. Not at this point of the season. So the count 3-0 on Hussey. Runner over at third base, and it's Dusty Pence. Cold strike, and it's 3-1 on the center fielder from Mangum. Mangum winning 10-3 in their first ball game. Walters won 14-11. 3-1 pitch, Hussey. A little late on that one. It's foul and out of play, and the count now full on Kyra at 3-2. So good job by Ford. After falling behind 3-0, she's run the count full now. Well, of course you're loving the picture. Michelle Rogers Huckabee loving the picture that I posted on Facebook. She designed it. Yeah, she's going to love it. There's a line drive into center field. It'll get over the head of Caden Smith. Go to the wall. Hussey rounding second, looking at third. Here she comes. Throw not in time. Safe at third base. Kyra Hussey. And Mangum is on top, 1-0. So a triple and an RBI for Kyra Hussey. That is an unearned run for Mangum, but they will take it any way they can. And they jump on top here 1-0. Boy, Hussey hit that ball hard. And I'm talking earlier this afternoon to my broadcast sidekick, if you will, Katie Carney, and talking about the fact that really Kyra been slumping a little bit. Broke out of it in a big-time way then as she hit that ball hard. Now here's Haven Gilbert. Gilbert looks at one upstairs for a ball. Count 1-0 on Haven. So Mangum jumping out on top here, 1-0. 1-0 pitch on the way to Gilbert. She'll lift it into shallow right field. Going out is Robinson. Coming in and having it drop in front of her is Reyes. That'll go as a seeing eye single, and Mangum leads it 2-0. And again, I hate to overstate it, but the weather has played a factor here early on. The throwing error by Myers as the ball Powers, I don't think ever saw it on the pickoff attempt. The wind caught that line shot off the bat of Hussey and sent it to the wall. Caden Smith, no opportunity. And then that one falls in no man's land. And again, Reyes looking into that sun from right field. Couldn't ever find the ball. Here's Sarah Rogers. Count on Rogers 1-0. Boy, she scalded one in that ball game earlier this afternoon. Had a cut there, but pops it up into not even into shallow center field. It's just behind second base. And the catch is made there for out number one. Good job by Johnson to draw a beat on that one. Big swing there by Rogers, and it looked like the ball was going to carry further than it did, but Johnson not fooled like my old set of eyes. So the count 2-0, or the score is 2-0. First pitch on the way, Sydney Webb. She'll take it for a strike, and it's 0-1 on Sid the Kid. Laughing at Katie Carney. Somebody thought she didn't change the scoreboard quick enough. And as she mentioned, she's keeping three different ones. 0-1 pitch. Outside for ball 1-1. She does it here at the field for the fans here, and then does it on our OK Sports and Facebook Live page. Pitch way upstairs. Ball 2-1. And then what's the other one you do it for? Game changer. All right, yeah. We need to figure out how to integrate all three of those. 2-1 pitch on the way. There's a cold ball, and it's 3-1. Wow. I'm telling you, that looked like a surefire strike there. So the count 3-1 on Sydney Webb. Runner at first base. One gone here in the first. Webb swinging on a 3-1 pitch. Ball comes back our way. Wow, I didn't think that was possible. It actually got over the fence, did not hit the overhang, and Mike Gerald showed what hands he doesn't have. He dropped the ball! Mom, by the way, back in Indiana, your son, if he wants something for Christmas, let's make it a glove. 3-2 pitch up in the eyes of Webb. Back to the screen. It'll go 3-2 again. Both Sydney, or I should say both Mike and April's parents in Indiana, there was a song a long time ago, Indiana Wants Me. Lord, I can't go back there. They're in Indiana listening to the broadcast. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Webb again up in her eyes. Ground ball to short. It gets underneath the glove of Johnson and into left field. Falling down at second base and getting tagged out. But that's interference there. Yeah, going to be safe. That's a pretty easy call right there. Had a collision at second base. Emily Robinson and Haven Gilbert. Gilbert fell down, and she was called safe. Major Davis immediately putting the right arm out, showing interference, and he's telling that to the coach right now. So Webb aboard. That'll be the third inning of the error against Walters. Still 2-0. Runners at second and third. Did we get a pitching change? Okay, I want to make sure I'm looking at the lineup correctly. It says right there, Tristan Ford pitching, right? But we've got a note on Facebook from the Walters camp that says maybe it's David Reyes that's on the mound. And it is on Reyes. Okay. All right. So we got two different lineups here. So it is Reyes that is pitching and not Ford. Thanks for pointing that out, you folks there at Walters. Knowing your kids, we like that. Pitch a little bit outside here. We know that's Victoria Gerald's for this group from Mangum. Count on Victoria. 1-0. Runners at first and second. One out here in the first. Gerald's base hit, center field. Gilbert had to hold. Richard will hold her. Throw going to come in behind her, and it hit Haven. Otherwise, it goes into the dugout. And Keely Hussey, who is courtesy running out there at second base, nearly ran up Haven Gilbert. So a solid single to center for Victoria Geralds has loaded the bases. And here's Maddie Lively. I'm trying to fix my book as well. Not my book necessarily, but my my cheat sheet from a defense. So it is Reyes that is pitching here for Walters. Little fly ball, shallow center field. And the ball now going to go over the head of Caden Smith. Gilbert will score easily. They're going to wave Hussey home. Here she comes, and she'll score standing up. Runners at first and third, still only one out, and Mangum now on top 4-0. Well, we talked about the wind, and it played havoc with that ball there. Hit high in the air by Lively, and it danced around and got over the head of the center fielder. Drove in a couple of more runs, 2 RBI for Lively. And Mangum on top now by a score of 4-0. By the way, are those football players out there beyond the left field fence? I kind of thought so. That's a place. That's a good place for football players. Here's J.C. Nippert. Nippert, little looping line drive in the shallow right field. That's a base hit. Lively will make it to second. Coming in to score from third base will be Victoria Geralds. And Mangum on top now 5-0. Nippert, an RBI single. And Mangum, as they do so often, has batted around. Here's Nicole Rogers. Reyes sees Nicole put down a bunt. She'll beat it out. Safe. And the bases are loaded. Boy, I tell you what, she did that earlier this afternoon. Nicole Rogers putting down a bunt towards the first base side that the only person who can field it is the pitcher. And while she's trying to field it, Nicole just simply outruns the ball to first base. So the base is loaded now for Dusty Pence. Pence came around to score the first run of the ballgame, reached on an error, wound up at third following a throwing error when they tried to pick her off at first base. And as we said, scored the first run of the ballgame on a triple from Kyra Hussey. Outside here for a ball, the count 1-0. 5-0, bottom half of inning number 1. One-0 pitch on the way. Ground ball towards short. Flip to second for one. Throw to first, not in time, and another run will score on the play as Maddie Lively will come in. And out on the fielder's choice for the second out of the inning will be Dusty Pence. She's retired 6-4, but she does get an RBI on the play. Runners now at first and third. Nippert over at third. And Dusty at first base. Swing and a miss by Hussey. Kyra down the count 0-1. The first time in the inning, she smoked a triple to center field and drove in a run, and then came in to score on Haven Gilbert's single. 6-0, Mangum on top. Pitch here, swung on, missed. Stolen base for Pence. Count 0-2 on Hussey. So 0-2 count now on Kyra Hussey. Down in the dirt. And count 1-2 on Kyra. Mangum trying to add to that 6-0 lead here in inning number 1. They scored 7 in the win against Chelsea in one inning. Boy, Hussey had a notion late off the high heat, and the count now leveled at 2-2. Hitter's pitch here because Reyes doesn't want to send it 3-2. 2-2 offering on the way. Out of the zone. It is full. 3-2. Haven Gilbert waiting in the on-deck circle. Mangum taking advantage of some suspect defense and also hitting the ball hard. Right there. That's a base hit left field. They're going to send Pence. Ball now gets away from Lily Brox out there in left, and Kyra Hussey will wind up at second base. Give her a couple of RBI on the play, and she took second base on the air behind the left fielder. Mangum now leading it by a score of 8-0. Here's Gilbert, runner at second base. Haven, first pitch swinging, fly ball center field. Smith is there for the catch, and the inning will come to an end. But not before the Lady Tigers come up with 8 runs. 8 runs for Mangum, and they tallied 8 hits in the inning. There were 3 errors and a runner left on board. At the end of 1, it's Mangum 8, and Walters coming to bat on Classic Hits 97.7.
Farmers and ranchers need feed or supplies? 4E Feed and Supply in Mangum is farm-owned, so they understand your needs for the farm and ranch. They feature bulk feeds for pickup or they'll deliver. Great brands coupled with fast, friendly service. They have gates and panels, vet supplies, and show feeds too. 4E Feed and Supply supports Greer County school sports and ag activities. 425 East Lincoln in Mangum.
The Castle Insurance Agency of Mangum is celebrating 80 years in business and 4 decades of Mangum Tiger and Lady Tiger graduates. The Castle Insurance Agency has had and will continue to have a long-term commitment to support Mangum students on the field and off the field. For auto, home, farm, bonds, crop, oil field, or commercial insurance, please call or stop by the Castle Insurance Agency, 122 South Pennsylvania in Mangum. Call 782-3049. That's 782-3049. The Castle Insurance Agency of Mangum.
Mangum Lady Tigers on top as we go to the top of the second inning. It is an 8-0 ball game. And due up for this group from Walters in their half of the second. It'll be Darren Reyes, Allie Powers, and Kinsey Thurman. So numbers 4, 5, and 6 due up here. And the first pitch taken for a ball. 1-0 on Reyes. Yeah, exactly. There's a cold strike, and the count is 1-1 on Reyes. I hope that's sturdy up there where those guys are standing. There's some big bodies up there. 1-1 pitch out of the zone. And the count now level at 1-1 on Reyes. Chance to help herself here. And she had a rough inning on the mound. Not all of it her doing, though. 3 errors behind her in the frame. Foul tip back to the screen. That'll level the count now at 2-2. Mangum, as they so often do, batting around in an inning. And we saw it there. And in fact, went 3 deep the second time around. Reyes, a little dribbler towards Gerald's. Victoria sets, fires, and gets the out for number 1. Good job by Gerald's. So 1 gone now for Allie Powers. Powers playing third base here this evening for the Lady Blue Devils. Again, we'll have the games for you tomorrow. The loser will play at 11 o'clock, correct? We've moved the time. It'll be 11 o'clock. There's a line shot into left field. That's a base hit. Cut off nicely out there by Nippert. But the first base runner of the evening for Walters will be Allie Powers. First pitch swinging. So the loser of this one plays tomorrow morning in an elimination bowl game. At 11 o'clock, they'll do battle with Crescent. And whoever wins that will come back and play the winner of this one at about 1 tomorrow afternoon. Winner of this one is a game away from the state tournament. There's a cold strike, and it's 0-1 on Kinsey Thurman. Thurman and company trailing 8-0. Swing and a miss. Kinsey late on that fastball, and the count now 0-2. The 0-2 pitch on the way here. And boy, Nicole Rogers went outside, and Sydney Webb hit the spot for out number 2. Second strikeout of the ball game for Sid the Kid. This one of the backwards K variety. 2 gone now. And here comes Caden Smith. Smith takes a pitch inside. Oh, that's a strike. The count 0-1 on Smith. Now, she leaned away from it. Kind of like her. I thought it was inside, but take what you can get. 0-1 on Smith. Swing and a miss there, and it's 0-2. And again, Webb talked about it earlier today. She had a hard time finding her rhythm in that ball game originally against Chelsea. Settled in and did quite nicely, and right now she's in a good rhythm. 0-2 pitch out of the zone, count 1-2. Couple of strikeouts in the ball game for Webb. One of a swinging variety, and that one the backwards K. Runner at first, 2 gone here in the top of the second. Mangum on top 8-0. That one's fouled back to the screen, and it'll stay at 1-2. Of course, we've got softball action coming up tomorrow, and then we will, at some point, make our way to the Bomber Bowl down in Frederick, as it's an 8-2 district matchup between Frederick and the Mangum Tigers. Our airtime is set for 6:30, kickoff at 7. 1-2 pitch here, off the fist, rolled foul, and it'll stay 1-2. And again, the sunshine not as much of a problem on the infield now as it was, although at first and second, a little bit of a glare there. But out in center field really is the tough spot right now. 1-2 pitch, off speed, upstairs for a ball, 2-2, and that's what we saw from Sydney in that first ball game. Off speed pitch staying high in the zone, holding on to it just a tick too long. 2-2 offering on the way here. Fouled back to the screen, and we'll do it all over again at 2-2. Greer County Farm Bureau agents Mickey Lively and Steve Martin supporting high school sports. Mickey and Steve offering insurance for property, casualty, life, commercial, and crop insurance. You'll find them at 231 North Main in Mangum. That's Greer County Farm Bureau. Pitch on the way here, and Sydney thought she had the strikeout, was headed to the dugout, and Bill Ferguson says, "Not so fast, my friend." So that'll run the count full now, 3-2. Payoff pitch on the way from Webb. Back to the screen. It'll stay 3-2. And I give credit to Caden Smith. She's fighting off some pretty good pitches here. Runner at first. 2 gone here in the second. Sydney Webb trying to close the door. Caden Smith trying to keep the inning alive. She is right up on that plate. Payoff pitch on the way again. And again, back to the screen it'll go. And a count 3-2. Caden, but she had a pitch to work with, she thought there, a little bit frustrated with herself. So the count 1-2 now, or full again on Smith. Payoff pitch. Strike 3 inside corner, and the inning will come to an end. Back-to-back backwards Ks in the books for Sydney Webb. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a runner left on board. At the end of an inning and a half, it's Mangum 8, Walters nothing. Classic Hits 97.7.
333 Dental Care in Mangum is the dental practice of Dr. Dustin Lively. His experience, skill, and compassion go hand in hand when providing exceptional, up-to-date patient care. Dr. Lively and his team of professionals are proud to help you with the best dental care possible, along with preventive care that will result in a beautiful, long-lasting smile. Call 580-782-2552 or visit the team at 333 Dental Care. They support the Mangum Tigers and Lady Tigers.
Everyone wants to be on a winning team. That's why Great Plains Bank is a proud supporter of the Tigers. No matter what life may throw at you, Great Plains Bank has the play drawn up, and we're ready to go into overtime to win your business. What makes Great Plains Bank different is that we will make the extra push to get you to the goal line. When it comes to your family's finances, every play counts. So pick a teammate you can trust. We want you on our team because with customers like you, we are greater together. Great Plains Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
All right, back in Mangum as we get set for the bottom half of inning number 2, 8-0. Lady Tigers on top of the Lady Blue Devils. And it'll be numbers 4, 5, and 6 in the lineup for Mangum. They had 8 runs on 7 hits in that first inning. 3 Walters errors as well. So Rogers stepping in. Sarah popped to short her first time around. She's 0 for 1. And you know that Rogers, she doesn't know what the scorebook looks like, but she's thinking, man, everybody else has done something but me. And actually, Rogers squared the only 2 players in the lineup who haven't scored, Sarah and Nicole. Everybody else has scored at least 1 run in a Mangum uniform. First pitch on the way, taken for a strike, and the count 0-1 on Sarah. Rogers collecting herself. She wasn't real happy with that pitch. 0-1 offering. Whacked down the right field line, but foul. And the count now 0-2 on Sarah. I don't know if I can do this or not. I'm probably going to mess everything up if I do, but I want to, just for the Mangum fans, want to see if you can see out behind the left field fence. See those heads bopping out there? It's the Mangum football team. Here supporting the Lady Tigers tonight. 0-2 pitch. Just got a piece of it back to the screen, and it'll say 0-2 on Rogers. I guess if I were a good camera person like Justin O'Neill or Deanne, I would have zoomed in on them, but that would have discombobulated everything. I have a hard enough time writing and talking. Rogers, fly ball center field. Smith camps underneath it, makes the catch for out number 1. So Rogers 0 for 2 on the evening. And that'll bring to the plate Sydney Webb. Webb reaching on an error, and then a courtesy runner for her came around to score. At the time, what was the 4th run of the ball game? Webb a chance to help herself here in the second. Her club leads 8-0. Pitch on the way to Sydney. Takes it downstairs, and the ball count is 1-0. That one fluttered up there to home plate, and wasn't sure whether Bill Ferguson was going to call that a strike or not. 1-0 offering here. Out of the zone, 2-0. And again, the first game tomorrow, regardless of who is playing, will be at 11 o'clock. It'll be an elimination bowl game against Crescent. 2-0 pitch here. Webb, high fly ball, right field. Emily Robinson, it doesn't get to right field. That ball died. Tristan Ford makes the play at second base. Wow. So Webb got that one off the end of the bat, and it never got to the outfield grass. Ford there to make the catch at second for out number 2. Here's Victoria Geralds. Victoria singled and scored her first time around. Geralds looks at a pitch for a strike, and the count 0-1 on Victoria. In that ball game earlier this afternoon against Chelsea took the lead, you'll remember, 3-2 with 2 outs, and then Mangum countered with a run with 2 outs of their own, and to tie it at 3-3 before exploding for 7. Count 1-1 here on Geralds. 2 going in the second. 1-1 pitch on the way. Popped up on the infield, and again Ford will call for it at second base and make the catch, and the inning will come to a close as Mangum is retired in 1-2-3 fashion. We'll go to the top of the third. Mangum on top by a score of 8-0. This is Classic Hits 97.7.
When it comes to getting your prescriptions filled quickly, just have your doctor send them to Bratton Drug in Mangum or Granite Drug in Granite, where competent and friendly pharmacists will quickly fill them correctly. Bratton Drug and Granite Drug are hometown, locally owned pharmacies, and they know you have a choice when it comes to a pharmacy. So they appreciate your business, and they're proud to serve you. That's Bratton Drug in Mangum and Granite Drug in Granite.
Buy your Mangum Tiger Spirit clothing from locally owned CJ's Tiger Specialty Shop, where you'll find the best selection, quality, and the lowest prices. Greer County items, too. They'll design something especially for your group. CJ's is your one-stop Mangum School Spirit Shop, 1 block south of the high school, Mangum, Oklahoma.
Well, here we go. Time of the third inning now. Mangum on top 8-0, and due up for the Lady Blue Devils of Walters, Kaylor Coleman, Emily Robinson, and Jenna Johnson. Coleman takes a pitch for a strike, and it's 0-1. Kaylor, the daughter of a couple of good friends of mine, Brian Coleman, former Altus Merchant softball player, played third base for us, and he was a good one. Kaylor late on that one. Count 0-2 on Coleman. I told Kaylor, I said, I'll say good things about you. Your dad, that's a different story. Mom Gloria, good lady as well. A little bit low for a ball. The count 1-2 on Coleman. We used to call him BC. Brian Coleman had a cannon for an arm. 1-2 pitch here. Inside for a ball, 2-2. He was playing back in the days when we would take on Richard Carney and the rest of the Dirty Birds and slow pitch league up in Elk City. And let me just tell you, we had some dandy games. 2-2 pitch here. Coleman looks at one inside for a ball. 3-2. Ryan Granger over at Snyder, part of that Dirty Bird squad. Russell Berry from over at Granite. He was there as well. And the rivalry between the two teams was intense, to say the least. And it was men's slow pitch softball. 3-2 pitch on the way here. Coleman, line drive, base hit down the right field line. And digging it out is Kayla Reese, but Coleman will go into second base standing up with a double. And the leadoff runner aboard here in inning number 3. Well, Brian had told me that Kaylor had a couple of doubles in that first ball game, that Walters won over Crescent 14-11. She hit that one hard. Comes up with a base hit after falling behind in the count, 0-2. So a runner in scoring position now for Walters. Bunt, and a good one, fielded by Geralds. She'll throw to first in time. Sarah Rogers down there covering and retiring Emily Robinson. 5-4. Advancing to third on the play is Coleman. She is there with one going. By the way, I want to say this as well. Kaylor getting her speed from her mother, not her father. Brian had it, and we checked it with a calendar. Jenna Johnson now steps in for the second time this evening. Johnson looks at a strike, and it's 0-1. She's 0-1. Johnson flying to center field her first time around. 0-1 pitch on the way here. Fly ball left field. Nippert has it gauged and makes the catch. Coleman will tag at third and come in and score the first run of the ball game for the Lady Blue Devils. So a sacrifice fly for Jenna Johnson. She gets the RBI, retired on the fly ball to left field. 2 gone now for Trista Ford. Ford grounded back to the pitcher, Sydney Webb, her first time around. She's 0-1. Takes a pitch inside here, and the count 1-0. 8-1 ball game now in the top of the third. Good swing there, but out of play, and that was real close to automobiles. Fortunately, not mine. And the count now 1-1 on Ford. Webb, one of those that supplies a lot of the power for you. If you can put bat on ball, it will go a ways. 1-1 pitch on the way. Cold strike, and it's 1-2. And again, I'm not familiar with the construction here at the softball complex, but the football boys are back there bouncing on something.
I think they must be on Sway's pickup tailgate.
Okay. Well, I hope the tailgate can support them. Count out 2-2 on Ford.
Two of the books, just not on that one. I'm keeping 3.
Miss Hussey keeping you in line now.
Yeah.
2-2 pitch on the way.
It's on 2 of the 3.
Ground ball, center field, base hit, and a 2-out single for Trista Ford. So that'll be the third hit of the ball game for Walters, second of the inning. That'll bring to the plate now Grace Myers, the catcher. Myers struck out to end the first inning. She's 0-1. And again, a team that scored 14 runs in their first ball game here. You don't want to dilly-dally around. Let them back in it.
It is broken.
Foul down the right side, and Haven Gilbert got a glove on it, but couldn't make the catch, and it's 0-1 on Grace Myers.
Sorry, Charlie.
Said the kid says we need a new ball, and she will get it. 8-1 ball game as we play here in the top of the third. Mangum on top. Walters getting their first run of the ball game, and they've got a runner at first base with 2 going. Ground ball to short. Dusty flips to second, and safe. That's the right call, too. Running hard, Trista Ford, head first dive. I don't know if I like that or not, but she's safe at second base. Infield single, Grace Myers. Apparently Pence didn't think she had time to go across the diamond. And so runners at first and second now. So 2 gone here in the third. Pitch outside for a ball. And the count 1-0 on Reyes. We've got a courtesy runner in there now for Walters at first base. That'll be Jayla Davis. Called strike, and the count 1-1 on Reyes. Reyes 0-1. She grounded to Victoria Gerald's her first time up. Runners at first and second for Walters. They've got 1 across here. 2 gone in the third. Pitch downstairs. Good job by Rogers to knock it down, but off with the pitch. And again, sliding in safely is Trista Ford. Fearless on the base pass. Trista Ford. Courtesy runner held at third. Could be a wild pitch there. Runners at first and third. Count 2-1 now on Reyes. Dayron had a notion but laid off of it, and Bill Ferguson said 3-1. So 3-1 now on Reyes. The cleanup batter for this group from Walters. There's ball 4 down in the dirt. Here comes the runner, and nobody covering home. Scoring will be, well, I tell you what, Ford is dynamite. She'll score. And then they'll throw behind the runner, and did they get her out there at second base? No, she's safe. Courtesy runner nearly wandered too far off the bag, but dives back into second base safely. So the walk and another wild pitch and another run comes across for Walters, and it's an 8-2 ball game. And Walters not done yet here in the third. They've got runners at first and second. Don't know if we've heard yet or not, Chad Fox, how that ball game between Frederick and Hobart turned out. Both teams losing in the opening round and played in an elimination ball game. And Katie Carney tells me that Hobart won the ball game as she goes to Squirtle.
If I trust Squirtle, they win.
Well, I usually do trust Squirtle, and they've gone down to where a deal where you've got to sign in, which I didn't realize. So I got caught last week, didn't have my sign-in stuff, and couldn't get anything with the football team. So Hobart stays alive. They win 8-1 over Frederick, and will play an elimination bowl game tomorrow. Wow, Fairview outlasting Sayre, 20-17, and what a score that would make the football coaches happy. There's a line drive into the cars on the right side by Allie Powers. She got one good there. That was a thump. Count 0-1 now on Powers. By the way, we've got a courtesy runner again, and here's the pinch out of the zone. And it's Nevaeh Dryden down there at first base. Nevaeh Dryden. Count on Powers, 1-1. Dryden at first, out at second base. Another courtesy runner. Here's the pitch inside ball 3. Or 2. That's 2. 2-1, I'm sorry. So a couple of courtesy runners aboard. Jayla Davis and Nevaeh Dryden. 2 going here in the third. Mangum leading 8-2. Swing and a miss. Boy, I tell you what. Powers helped her out there because that was ball 3. Count level now at 2-2. On Allie Powers. Powers enough of that Powers to get the ball out of here. Got to be careful with it. 2-2 pitch. Lifted in the air. On the infield. Calling for it is Rogers, and she'll make the catch for out number 3. But Walters comes up with a couple of runs in the frame. 2 runs on 4 hits. A couple of wild pitches and 2 runners left on board. We played 2.5. Mangum leads at 8-2. This is Classic Hits 97.7.
There's only one place for the best selection of items for Mangum's homecoming. It's Flowers Unlimited at 113 South Oklahoma. Your choices include 7 different mums starting at $18.95, 4 different garters starting at $12.95, several kinds of noisemakers including the popular cowbell, lighted pom-poms, lighted jewelry, and candy snack packs. It's Flowers Unlimited in Mangum.
Friends, you need to take care of your eyes. Have regular checkups. Make an appointment with Dr. Michael Geiger Eye Care in Altus, and now there's a Geiger Eye Care in Frederick. Dr. Michael Geiger and Sons, Seth and Bryce, well, they're good at what they do, so get your eyes checked. Geiger Eye Care, Altus and Frederick, proud to support Southwest Oklahoma youth in sports, in the classroom, in the showroom, whatever. Proud to be a Bearcat booster. That's Geiger Eye Care, Altus and Frederick. Mike, Seth, and Bryce Geiger, 580-482-1756.
Well, the good folks at Geiger Eye Care, and they take care of our eyes, and we appreciate that. Also proud sponsors of Tiger Sports as well. We may get an addendum to that ad there, Chad Fox, and include Mangum in it as well. So we go to the bottom of the third inning, and the Lady Tigers on top here by a score of 8-2. It'll be Maddie Lively, J.C. Nippert, and Nicole Rogers due up for Mangum. Lively singled, drove in a run, and scored her first time around. Count 0-1 on Maddie. 0-1 pitch on the way here, out of the zone. The count level at 1-1. By the way, getting word that Mark Burns from Delaware, Ohio, watching and enjoying the ball game. A fan of the Lady Blue Devils. Boy, Lively hit that one hard, but it was foul. And the count 1-2. That's the thing that just absolutely stuns me about this internet thing. And I talk about it all the time, that there was one class in 16 years of education that I failed, and it was a Intro to Computers class in 1978 at Northwest Missouri State University. It was Intro to Computers back then. You had to write a computer program. Now Intro to Computers is Windows XP or 10 or whatever it is. Pitch out of the zone, count 2-2. Everything that we do now, and here we are in Mangum, Oklahoma, and somebody in Delaware, Ohio can go to their computer, watch and listen to the broadcast. Phenomenal. Lively swings through that one. The ball gets away momentarily from Myers, but Grace will throw down to first, and the out will be recorded, 1 gone. Look through my book, and I believe that's the first strikeout of the ball game for Darren Reyes, and it is. So 1 gone now to J.C. Nippert. Nippert, a catalyst in that victory against Chelsea earlier today when she got kerplunked on her backside a couple of times. Came around to score both times. Shows bunt here, and that hit her. Did it hit her in the batter's box? Apparently it did, so that's just going to be a foul ball. Nippert trying to bunt her way on is down in the count 0-1. JC 1 for 1. Got a single. Run scored and drove in a run. One gone here in inning number 3. 8-2 ball game. Reyes goes to work. Nippert out in front of that off-speed pitch. And it's 0-2 on JC. Winner sits back and awaits the spoils tomorrow. Little looping shot to third base. Thurman will pick, throw, and not in time. Blazing speed down there at first base, even with that surgically repaired ankle. J.C. Nippert safe. Thurman had to go a long way to get the ball. Picked it up cleanly. Had a little bit of difficulty getting it out of her glove, and that little extra hesitation allowed Nippert to get in there safely at first base. She's there with one gone. Here's Nicole Rogers. Rogers, little ground ball between the shortstop and the third baseman. That'll be a base hit. Runners at first and second with one gone. Good job by Rogers to take advantage of that gap there on the left side. Kinsey Thurman had eked her way in from third base, and pretty big hole between her and Johnson at third and short, and Rogers just rolled it into left field. So runners at first and second now for Dusty Pence, who has batted already for the third time this evening. Dusty has scored twice, driven in a run. Takes a strike here, and it's 0-1 on Pence. Her last time up, she rolled into a fielder's choice, but did come around to score. Pitch on the way here, out of the zone. The count 1-1. Mangum with 8 runs in that first inning of play, went in 1-2-3 fashion in the second. Gave up a couple of runs in the top of the third, trying to get those back here. There's a fly ball into center field. Smith is there for the catch. Tagging from third will be Pence. And I wouldn't be surprised if they don't appeal that. I said tagging from third was Pence, but that was Nippert. Pence flied out for out number 2. 2 gone now for Kyra Hussey. And are they going to? Did they appeal it, Katie? Ooh. They did. Wow. Okay. Here's Kyra Hussey. That's kind of what I was wondering. Hussey takes outside per ball. Count 1-0 on Kyra. Hussey been on base both times, tripled, drove in a run, and scored her first time around in the first, and then made it to first base on a single the second time in the frame. There's a shot into right field. That's going to get over the head of Robinson, go all the way to the wall. Nippert will score. Coming in from third base is Rogers. Now headed to third is Hussey, and she's there with her second triple of the night. Kyra Hussey. A couple of triples to the gap in right center field. 2 more RBI for Kyra. 3 on the ball game, and her club leads it 10-2. So those 2 that they gave up in the top of the frame, they have gotten back. Not done yet. Here's Haven Gilbert. Gilbert looks at his strike, and it's 0-1 on the first baseman. Haven singled and scored her first time around in the first, and then flying out to center field. That ended inning number 1. 0-1 pitch to Gilbert. Called strike 2, and it's 0-2 on Haven. And that, now she's going to have to get loaded up and get after it. Hussey at third, 2 gone. Mangum lead 10-2. Gilbert, little pop-up left field coming on is Brox, and she'll make the catch for out number 3. But Mangum gets the 2 runs back. Lady Tigers come up with a couple of runs on 3 hits, so there were no errors, and a runner left on board. At the end of 3, Mangum leads it 10-2. Classic Hits 97.7.
Travis Septic Tank Service can handle everything related to septic tank maintenance and cleaning, including commercial applications. Call Travis Septic Tank Services at 580-782-2384. That's 782-2384. Travis says, go Mangum Tigers.
Bring hope and peace to a child. Young children of all ages need homes. Please consider opening your loving home to a child in need. Children deserve to grow up in a loving, loving, caring family. We have the services and community connections that can help foster families succeed. Contact your local youth service agency at 580-726-3383 for more details. Abused and neglected children are Oklahoma's most vulnerable population. Help is needed now. Great Plains Youth and Family Services is a proud sponsor of today's broadcast.
Well, the home team scoring, I mean, yeah, you've got to do that. Katie and I, in between innings, talking about the base hit for Nippert in the bottom half of the third inning. And she's the official scorer, Katie is, so yeah, it's a base hit. First pitch swinging here, a little pop-up on the infield. Pence will call for it and make the catch for out number one. Retired on that first pitch will be Kinsey Thurman. So Thurman now 0 for 2 in the bowl game. She has struck out and popped out. One gone for Caden Smith. Smith struck out looking to end inning number 2. She is 0 for 1. First pitch on the way to Caden. She's first pitch swinging. This one back to the screen, and it's 0-1. Oh, we talked about how Sydney Webb has pitched ahead all day long. Did that earlier today in that 10-3 victory over Chelsea, and has done it here tonight as well against Walters. And if you got somebody throwing strikes, you get something early on in the count that you like, you might as well take a hack at it. Tried to bunter away aboard here. Fielded by Webb. She'll flip to Rogers at first for out number 2. I'll tell you what, Sarah Rogers, we talk about her ability to eat up all kinds of space when she runs the bases, but that stride helps her out covering the bag on those bunts as well. 1-4 if you're scoring along at home, or like Keith Oberman and by yourself. 2 gone now. Fastball underneath the chin of Coleman. And it's 1-0 on Kaler. She doubled and came around to score the first run of the ball game for Walters. Back in inning number 3. Swing and a miss here, 1-1. Coleman, who got that double on a 2-strike pitch, looked overmatched right there. And she was fooled by the pitch from Webb. 1-1 offering on the way here, off the fist and giving chase. Rogers diving and can't hold on in foul territory, but a great effort by Nicole Rogers. And you think that looks easy, go ahead and put on a pair of shin guards, a helmet, and a chest protector. Come out of a crouch and see if you can even get a glove on it. So the count now 1-2. Pitch on the way from Webb, out of the zone. Coleman has run the count even at 2-2. You might remember, Kaler fell behind her last time around, ran it to 3-2, and then whacked that double down the right field line. 2-2 offering on the way here. A little bit outside for a ball, and the count 3-2. By the way, the lights have completely taken over here, so shouldn't be much of an issue fighting the softball, given the fact that it's a glow-in-the-dark yellow. Payoff pitch, popped up on the infield. Dusty will call for it, and Pence will make the catch, and the inning will come to an end in 1-2-3 fashion. Nothing doing for Walters in their half of the fourth. We'll go to the bottom of the frame with Mangum on top 10-2. Classic Hits 97.7.
When it comes to funeral homes, there are several to choose from. But choosing a funeral home that is locally owned offers the advantage of the local owners who are involved right here in the community, helping you during your time of need. Greer Funeral Home owners Carson and Stacy Van Zant are perfect examples of owners who offer that family-like connection that you'd expect from a friend and a neighbor. Greer Funeral Home in Mangum and Granite, providing dignity and respect.
The Hamburger Inn in Mangum continues to be that special place people have enjoyed for generations. Good food prepared by your neighbors in a laid-back atmosphere where you really feel at home. Breakfast, lunch specials daily, and the famous fish fry every Friday night, or a great steak dinner on Saturday night. But you guys know about the Hamburger Inn in Mangum. We'll see you there.
Mangum Brick Company has been operating since the early 1900s. They're the largest private employer in Greer County. Mangum Brick is proud to support high school athletics radio broadcasts. And if you know of someone looking for work, always check with Mangum Brick, as they may be hiring.
All right, 10-2, our scores. We go to the bottom half of inning number 4. Mangum will have, as Don Henley once sang, the heart of the order coming up. Well, it was the heart of the matter, but you get the idea. It'll be Sarah Rogers, Sydney Webb, and Victoria Gerald's due up for Mangum as they lead 10-2 in the bottom of the fourth. Rogers has worn the collar here this evening, and now she is the only player in the lineup who has yet to score. Her sister, Nicole, plated a run in the last inning. So 8 of the 9 in the batting order have scored here this evening for Kearney's club. Sarah looks downstairs for a ball, 1-0. She has popped out twice, once to short, once to center. Looking for a pitch here from Reyes. 1-0 offering, and boy, she whacked it over the second baseman's head. Got a glove on it, did Tristan Ford, but couldn't slow down that missile. And now Rogers is aboard here to begin inning number 4. Sydney Webb will step in. Webb reached on an error in the first. Her position came around to score on a courtesy runner and then popped out the second to end, or actually that was the second out of the inning, in inning number 2 when Mangum was retired in 1-2-3 fashion. Looks at a strike here in the count 0-1 on Webb. Sydney can help herself immensely here. Club up by 8 in the 4th. 10-2 score. Pitch on the way. Webb, ground ball to short. Backhanded by Johnson. She'll flip to second. The ball gets away from Ford and rolls into right field, and Rogers will wind up at third base. Now Sarah going to come home, as bobbling the ball out there was the second baseman. So a couple of errors on the play, and Sarah Rogers will come all the way home and make it an 11-2 ball game. Sydney Webb will wind up at second. Keely Hussey now going to go in and run for Webb. And Victoria Geralds will come to the plate. Victoria, 1 for 2. She singled and scored in the first and popped to second to end inning number 2. In that inning, as we mentioned, Mangum in 1-2-3 fashion. They now lead at 11-2 to the Lady Tigers. Pitch inside and low. Good scoop there by the catcher. 1-0. Grace Myers doing a nice job of picking that one clean. So 1-0 on Gerald's. Victoria looks at one outside for a ball. The count now 2-0 on the third baseman from Mangum. Mangum trying to win this one and come back and just play a championship game at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon against either Walters or Crescent. Upstairs, Gerald's and Victoria heading the count 3-0. Keely Hussey, the courtesy runner, out at second base. 3-0 pitch on the way here. Gerald's swinging, line drive to the first baseman. And a nice play there by Allie Powers for out number 1. A little surprised that Gerald's had the green light on 3-0, but when you're up 11-2, that sometimes will occur. So the soft liner is the first out of the inning. And Maddie Lively. Lively 1 for 2 with an RBI. Run scored. She is also struck out. Lively looks at one outside for a ball. The count on Maddie is 1-0. Again, the loser of this plays tomorrow in an elimination bowl game at 11. I know the bracket says noon, but they're moving it back an hour to 11 o'clock. Outside to Lively, now 2-0. They will play an elimination bowl game against Crescent earlier today. Walters beat Crescent in the first round, 14-11. There's a high fly ball into the gap, left center field. That one is off the base of the wall. Rounding third is Hussey. Here she comes. She'll score standing up, and Mangum leads it 12-2. Boy, what a shot there by Maddie Lively. She hit that one to the deepest part of the park, off the base of the fence in left center field. She'll drive in a run, and Mangum now leads it by 10, 12-2. Lively with an RBI. Their second of the ball game. Going to get a courtesy runner for Maddie.
Nice hit, Maddie.
Kayla Reese, the flex player, will come in and run for Lively.
Let's go, JC.
So here's JC Nippert. One gone in the 4th. Mangum on top by 10. Nippert 2 for 2, 2 runs scored in an RBI. Nippert anxious to get in there and hit. Bill Ferguson a little slow in updating his book. But as old as he is, he's slow all the time. Downstairs to Nippert, the count 1-1 JC. We've known Bill for a year or 6. I'm almost as old as he is. He's got more gray hair than I do, so he wins the contest. Nippert looks at ball 2, 2-0. Oh, by the way, Sarah Rogers came around to score in this inning, so all 9 players have scored at least once now for Mangum. Ground ball towards short. Johnson throw in time. Nippert retired for the first time of the ball game. That'll be out number 2. Nicole Rogers now will step in. Rogers been on board both times. She has singled and scored. 2 for 2 for Rogers. Kayla Reese out at second base here in the 4th. 12-2 Bull game. Fly ball down the left field line. Foul and out of play. It's 0-1 on Nicole. Well, she shows some quick hands there. That ball in on her hands, and well, she turned on it and hit it a long way, but foul. The count is 0-1. 0-1 pitch. Upstairs for a ball, and it's 1-1. Certainly I'm partial to Mangum because that's who I cover, but I'm partial to Mangum because I don't have to go on the air until 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and I can get my stuff done at my regular job. Ground ball back through the middle, knocked down by Reyes. Now it gets away into shallow center field, but picked up quickly by Johnson. And safe at first base will be Nicole Rogers. Give Rogers a single on that? Okay, E1, the call from the official score. And now we get a courtesy runner for Nicole. Dusty Pence now going to step in. Pence scored a couple of times, driven in a run. Officially is 0 for 3. Reached on an error in the first, her first time around, and then a fielder's choice her second time. She's flying to center. Dusty takes downstairs for a ball. And the count 1-0 on Pence. Mangum leading 12-2. Bottom half of inning number 4. If you're thinking run rule, they've got to score 2 more. A little looping fly ball into center field. Caden Smith there to make the catch, and the inning will come to a close. But not before Mangum comes up with a couple of more runs. Lady Tigers with those 2 runs on 3 hits. There was an error, actually 2 errors, and a couple of runners left on board. At the end of 4, Mangum leads at 12-2. Classic Hits 97.7.
Jamie's Auto Sales in Mangum is Tiger proud. When you need a reliable used vehicle, just visit Jamie's Auto Sales at 129 North Lewis Tittle Avenue in Mangum. Owner Jamie Turner has many years of experience in the auto sales business. Jamie or Lacey Del Tepper will help arrange financing through area banks and credit unions. Get a good vehicle and save money at Jamie's Auto in Mangum.
Taking care of your family is easy and convenient at the JCMH Family Care Medical Clinic in Mangum. Located at 114 South Lewis Tittle in Mangum, Dr. Lonnie Perryman and nurse practitioner Patty Burks provide a comprehensive, full-service family practice, including care for children and adults, including geriatrics. Call 782-3393 for appointments at the JCMH Family Care Medical Clinic in Mangum.
Mangum Golden Age Apartments offers government-sponsored apartments for persons 62 and older and people with Social Security. They have 1 bedroom and efficiencies which include all bills paid, including Wi-Fi, and cable is just $5. Mangum Golden Age Apartments are located at 100 East Lincoln, right on the downtown square in Mangum. Call Brandy at 782-2452 for more information. 782-2452. The Mangum Golden Age Apartments.
All right, here we go. Top of the 5th inning now. Mangum on top 12-2. And leading it off for Walters will be Emily Robinson. Takes downstairs for a ball. 1-0 on Robinson. By the way, in between innings, great music being played by Mike and April Geralds. They went to the Neil Diamond cut. Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum. And everybody's singing along, including the kids who they have 1s at the first part of their number. Killing me. 2-0 count now on Robinson. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. It is 2-1. Emily is rolled into a fielder's choice. She is 0 for 1 of the ball game. Actually tried to, well, she did bunt and was retired on a nice play by Victoria Geralds. Looks at one upstairs for a ball here, 3-1. Getting kind of cool here at 7:50 on a Thursday evening. Plenty of moisture in the air. This one's off the fist. Gerald's going to give chase, not get there. And the count now is going full at 3-2. We've had a harvest moon all week long. And while it may be good if you're a farmer, it has not worked out so well at child welfare.
Or teaching.
Or teaching. Ground ball off the end of the bat, picked up by Gilbert. Haven will step on the bag. 3 unassisted. And I know that there are those that are skeptical about such things as a full moon and the effects on human beings. But I can promise you, teachers know this very well, and those of us who work with child welfare, we know it as well. It's an uptick. There's no doubt about it. Back to the top of the order, Jenna Johnson. Johnson looks at one upstairs, 1-0. Johnson had a sacrifice fly and an RBI her last time around. Looks at the ball here, 2-0. Kiddos just, and I know they go bonkers in the classroom, and then we get more referrals during full moon than any other time. Called strike, and it's 2-1. Yesterday I transported a couple of twins that are 6 months old, and the boy screamed the entire time from Moore to Clinton. And that is not a short trip for those not familiar with it. Ground ball to Rogers at second base. Swept the first in time for 2 outs. 2 gone now for Walters. Here's Trista Ford. Ford, 1 for 2. She grounded out in the first and then singled and came around to score one of the 2 runs in the ball game back in inning number 3. Ford, a marvelous athlete. She gets on base. Look out. Wraps this one back through the middle, and she is on base with 2 gone here in the 5th inning. And this is a kid that runs extremely well. Now, down by 10, you got to be a little bit judicious on the base pass because you can't score 10 all by yourself. So Grace Myers now comes to the plate. Myers 1 for 2. She's got a single, and she's struck out. And Ford can run. Saw that last time she got on base. Well, she got way off the bag there. And I like Nicole Rogers not making the throw down. No point. Just like her trying to score and make a difference, scoring 10, you don't gain a whole lot by throwing out the runner. This one's popped up on the infield. Calling for it is Cindy Webb. She'll stay with it and make the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. Good job by Webb to stay with that one as it was dancing in the harvest night, and that will bring the game to a close via run rule fashion. Walters comes up with no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and had a runner left on base. And Mangum will win it 12-2, the 10-run rule after 5 on Classic Hits 97.7.
Mangum Oil and Gas at 1306 North Lewis Tittle offers so many services. From fuel at the C-store to the self-serve car wash, getting propane bottles filled or propane delivered to the home and farm, even U-Haul services. It's no wonder so many folks head to Mangum Oil and Gas, where they say, "Go Tigers."
For top-notch heating and air conditioning service and installation, you can rely on Payne's Heating and Air, serving Southwest Oklahoma and North Texas from their headquarters in Mangum, Oklahoma. With years of experience and hundreds of satisfied customers, call Payne's Heating and Air Conditioning at 799-5130, 799-5130.
Amanda Weaver from Mangum is now the manager at Courtsview Meat Company in Altus. Gary and Letitia Stockton and Amanda are proud to sponsor Hobart Bearcat and Mangum Tiger radio broadcasts. Listen when you're enjoying ball this fall, stack up on the best ribeye steaks money can buy from Courtsview. Also ribs, jerky, smoked sausage, hams, and a lot more. And of course, they do custom slaughtering. If you're grilling, roasting, baking, or slicing, you can't go wrong with Courtsview Meat Company, 800 South Veterans Drive in Altus. Phone 580-477-1390.
What does it mean to be a Mangum Tiger, you ask? Well, we are 1 town, 1 school, and 1 family. We may be a small town, but we have big dreams and a bright future ahead of us. This is Lori Laughlin from Stockman's Bank, member FDIC, and we are so proud to support the Mangum Tigers.
Folks in Mangum know what to do when they need to quench a thirst, curb a hunger attack, or cool down with an ice cream. They just make the Loop at 918 North Lewis Tittle in Mangum. The Loop, supporting the Mangum Tigers and Lady Tigers.
Mangum Lady Tigers now 1 win away from the 2A state tournament next week at Fire Lake in Shawnee as they win in run rule fashion tonight by a final score of 12-2. Lady Tigers coming up with 8 runs in that first inning of play. Picked up a couple of more in the third, 2 more in the fourth, and they win it by a final score of 12-2. Mangum 12 runs on 12 hits and no errors in the ballgame. 2 runs, 5 hits, and 5 errors for Walters, and that was Walters' undoing. Those 5 errors really hurt and Mangum takes advantage of it. And again, they win it by a final score of 12-2. So the Lady Tigers now a game away from going to the state tournament. Here's what we'll look at tomorrow. First game will get underway at 11. And again, if you're looking at a bracket, they are going to move it back an hour because Mangum plays football, and it's a road game tomorrow night down at Frederick. So Walters and Crescent tomorrow at 11 in an elimination bowl game. The winner of that will come back and play Mangum at about 1 o'clock. If Mangum wins it, then they are headed to the state tournament. If the Mangum Lady Tigers lose that ball game, there will be an if championship contest immediately after that Mangum game against either Walters or Crescent. So if you've got a bracket and you're trying to fill it out and keep track, Mangum wins game number 1 earlier today, 10-3 over Chelsea. Walters then outslugs Crescent 14-11. It was Crescent eliminating Chelsea 11-5, and now Mangum has beaten Walters 12-2 to set the stage to win one more game and go to the state tournament. Been a long day. We've got to thank our boss, Chad Fox, for filling in on us as we had double duty going on today. You got to make that court appearance there with Judge Russell Norman on our deprived case. Otherwise, he would not be happy with me. So thanks to Chad, and thanks to you for being a part of our broadcast. And again, we will be back tomorrow at about 1 o'clock for the championship bowl game, which will feature the Mangum Lady Tigers, now a game away from the state tournament. For Chad, also for Katie Bowen-Carney, who does a great job and doesn't get nearly enough credit for the work she does, I'm Michael Barnes. We'll join you tomorrow at 1 for the championship bowl game here on Classic Hits 97.7.